Welcome back to the Power and the Glory. Today's scripture is taken from 2 Thessalonians chapter 3 verse 3. Before I read through the scripture, please like, share and subscribe. It does make a huge difference to the Google algorithm, and thank you to my existing subscribers for your ongoing support. I really do appreciate it. So I'll read the scripture now. But the Lord is faithful, and he will strengthen you and protect you from the evil one. So this verse offers much needed reassurance to struggling Thessalonian believers who at the time were facing religious persecution and were experiencing false teachings about the return of Jesus. So the verse itself is a promise of divine stability and protection from spiritual harm and temptation, assuring Christians they are not alone in spiritual battles and can trust God's unwavering commitment to them. So let's now move through to the scripture in detail now. But the Lord is faithful. So this is a declaration of belief in God and his faithfulness. His commitment and reliability remain unchanged, in contrast to human volatility and human unreliability. Who shall establish you? So this means God will establish a firm foundation of faith that is both steadfast and solid to help believers stand resolutely against all uncertainties and problems. And finally, and keep you from evil. So this part of the verse refers to God's overarching protection against all evil and all that can harm the believer, including temptation, physical harm, and spiritual oppression, and all manner of evil that could lead them into sin. So what then are the key takeaways from this passage of Scripture? Well, it's that God is with us in the struggle. It speaks to God's active involvement in guiding and protecting his people, offering comfort, security, and hope. God provides hope also amidst persecution. Paul wrote this letter to a community facing persecution and confusion. The verse provides immense comfort and hope, reminding them that they are not alone in their struggles and that God's power is supreme over absolutely any opposition they can think of. It's also a note for us to trust not in man, but trust in God. So the verse encourages reliance on God's promises, shifting the burden of security from the individual to a God that they can completely trust in 100%. The promise of God's protection encourages believers to actively rely on his strength through prayer and obedience. And this leads me on to the next point. This is all about the next topic, which is strength. God will strengthen you. Believers are promised spiritual fortitude to withstand trials, temptations, and challenges. The strength is an inner resolve that enables perseverance in faith and good works. And finally, as I think I've covered just recently, protection from spiritual evil. The verse assures a divine safeguard against Satan, referred to as the evil one and his schemes. But not all trials, of course. The protection doesn't mean that believers won't face trials. There won't be an absence of trials, but rather they'll be delivered from the more serious spiritual attacks.